DJ745 for worldofreggae.com, helping to preserve reggae music, not just now in 2016, but for years to come as well. I'm sitting beside a person who can be described as someone that has really helped to transform reggae music as we hear it now in 2016, but also going back to some of the origins of the digitalization of reggae music. I'm talking to Noel Davey here, live and direct here in Leicester City. Welcome to the viewers of World of Reggae.
Welcome.
So, Noel, there's a lot of people that are probably going to be watching this video thinking, who is DJ745 talking to? I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers of World of Reggae.
Yeah, Noel Davey, long-time musician in the business, and this is how I started out, by playing these little games, little Casios, and stumbled upon the rhythm. Myself and Wayne Smith is like when we had the Casio playing around with and fidgeting around some buttons, and a sound went off, and the sound was lost. And through the machinist's mind, I sat there days after and found, refound the sound after it lost. And then I got it back and told Wayne that I found it back, and his decision was like, we should take it to Jammies. I didn't know Jammies, so him take me around there, and we actually just go around there, and Jammies hear me with it one Saturday morning and say, come and record it for me now. And I never opposed nothing. I just go, because I never really know what it is. I thought of it as like, well, it's just a little Casio beat, or, I never take it like, I never know that something like that would happen, to be honest with you. So we just simply went and allow him to record it. But after that, the rest of it was really history. Yes, it was history.
So what we're talking about here is something that happened in 1984. Yourself, 84, 85. This is yourself and Wayne Smith are almost like playing around on this little Casio keyboard. Yeah. Whose keyboard was it? It
was mine. It was brought to me by, you have a group called the Wailing Souls. You have a member, Garty. They went overseas, and a virgin named Bunny sent the Casio from me because he came to Jamaica and saw me. There was time when I used to be down Waterhouse playing music with Melodica, the little one you blow. That's what I had. And him say, you're a talented youth, and I'm going to have an organ at home, and I'm going to send it for you. And so he did. He went to California and he sent the little Casio. And this was like a big break for me because the Casio is a machine that I can use with current and battery, whereas the other one I had to blow it. So, it was easier for me now. So that's how, when I got that Casio, other things started to happen. And right away I started to make different sounds, and, it was a difference to play something without you having to blow it. You just press it and it plays, So it was Bunny's contribution. A guy named Bunny, and it was brought to me by the Wailing Souls, Garty. Garty from the Wailing Souls. Yeah, he brought it down for me. So that's how the Casio story goes. But the Casio is mine, because Bunny gave it to me.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there playing around, obviously, on, I think it was some of the presets on the Casio Tone MT40.
It's more like some settings. Like you have different boxes, different rhythms in the boxes. And buttons, so I didn't know it could jump out by itself like that. So there was when Wayne touched something, and Wayne had something to do with it. Him touched something and it jumped out, and I said, "Hear that?" And we both say, "Hear that?" But when days gone by and we lost it, and I went back and find it because Wayne couldn't find. He didn't know how to reproduce that sound again.
Right.
But I take the machine and go through his mind. And I never stopped until I found it back. Like another week later, we found it back. And I told him that I found back, and then I realized I can't stop it and start it. I realized how it really worked. So then that's when he decided to let us take it to Jammies. And I followed him and take it to Jammies. So it goes.
So yourself and the late Wayne Sleng Teng Smith that we're talking about, childhood friends, right?
Not really. I met Wayne because of music. My friend was Neville Brown, a singer called Neville Brown. He's in the States now. He did a song called All and Pull Up and Make the Super Them Go On. I don't know if you remember that song. I went to a dance down a skate land. Na 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 na. All I'm pull up. I make the super them go on. Alright. That song, I don't remember all the lyrics, but that was Never Brown's song. After Never Brown get that hit, Never Brown went away to the States. And he left me there. So we was together as brethren, just go from studio to studio. So when Never Gone, it left that void where you don't have nobody to walk around with. So that's when Wayne Smith found and come in and start to link with me. And that's how it go. That's how I never know Wayne Smith in a long time. But the little time that we met, I have the Casio. He wanted a break, so he used to follow around me too. I was somebody who could play a little, you know. Those times I could play a couple cards. He wasn't a musician really. He was just trying. I was more a musician at that time.
Right, okay.
Right, so even him would tell you that because I had to play the cards for the Sleng Teng and all like that. So out of me, Jammies and him, I am the musician. You understand? So that's how when the creativity part started and I went to Jammies, I played the recording. You know, he recorded it, but I play the instrument. I play all the pianos and the whatever phrases and thing went on. Away from what them overdub.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
this is a little bit of history now, reggae history, because, you know, we need to make sure that the viewers know some of the foundation works that have been put in by people like yourself, people like Wayne Smith that contributed as well. You managed to find back that preset on the Casio and you took it up to the Jammy studio at St. Lucia Road in Waterhouse. And I believe that at the time when you actually found this preset, Jammies was over in England, right?
He was, no, the first time I went to Jammy studio, he wasn't there, right? So I went back another time. I actually went there and played a rhythm. I don't even hear about that rhythm. I never hear about that rhythm again. While he was away, I went there and played a rhythm inside the studio. I never hear nothing more about that rhythm. I don't know what they did with it. But when he came back now, when he took me down there and I saw him, and he heard the rhythm and sat there and he said, come back, and I went back the sundown and recorded it. You understand? But yeah, it's history because it happened, and when it happened, I never even know. I was so naive and simple to this business that, you know, you don't know what it is, and when you put it out there, it just get big, you know. And you know, but in other words, I never know about no publishing and no other parts of rights and all like that. It took me years before I even realized that I was entitled to something, and that's why I went and signed with Gussie. Because I never really know what I was entitled to. And then long after I realized that the contract with him is not even very good, but I mean, it's a contract, but I mean, it's not very good because, you know, some signing that I make, I wouldn't have made it now, you know. So everything is just, you know, it's like, you know, I don't know, I hope you can recover some things at some time. Because life is like that, you go through and you know, what has happened is like it wasn't yours. It's yours, but it still wasn't yours at the end of the day, if you know what I'm saying. Because you don't know how to claim, you never know how to claim what was yours. Right? Because it's really mine, because what happened is my instrument and all of it, the creativity and whatever is really us, but we gave it to him and he did the rest of the PR, launch it to Green Sleeve and what have you. And him know the business, we never know it, so we was young, so you know, that's how it goes. So you stand by and watch people go all the while, you hear how big it is and whatever, and it hurts. Because you hear how big it is and you're not seeing the real benefits of it, you know. But life is like that, you have to be the strong survive, you know. You have to try and be strong, because these things, if you're not strong, they will kill you. You have to be very strong. You know.
I mean, this rhythm that we're talking about here for worldofreggae.com, it's known as the Sleng Teng Riddim track. It's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, dancehall rhythm track in the history of Jamaican music, right? It changed the whole outputs of the music from Jamaica, going from live instrumentation into the digital era. What were people's thoughts around that rhythm track when they first heard it?
Well, I can tell you one thing. I took that rhythm to other studios, to people, and their first impression was that it would be too light. It wouldn't be, because those days people were still doing them heavy dancehall mix with drum and bass, and even between me, even myself, was tentative, and I never, and Jammys was tentative too, because Wayne Smith said it in an interview, and I know that is true. Wayne said Jammys had his doubts about the light, but Wayne said to himself, "You don't have nothing to lose, put it out." Wayne said that in his interview. I have the interview, I can show you where Wayne Smith said, and tell him, "You must put it out because I don't have nothing to lose." So Wayne was like a kind of somebody with a force where he would try to push it. He must push it because he wanted the break. He saw him himself, Wayne would get a break on it. It's his first voice a song on it. And Mr. Jammys decided to put it out and give it to Greensleeve, and then surprise, surprise, it really took on the whole world, you know. It's a change. You know? It's like you have to try things sometime, you know, you have to try.
Well, the record that we're talking about, we have that right here on the original Jammys recording label. This is Wayne Sleng Teng Smith, under me Sleng Teng. Originally, the rhythm was created and founded by Noel Davey, who is our very special guest on today's programme. Now, that rhythm itself, you know, there is countless versions. I don't even want to start counting how many versions there are. Did you ever imagine that rhythm would sort of, you know, continue? And even to this day, there is still versions of that rhythm being made by different producers across the globe. Are you receiving any sort of benefits in terms of, you know, like royalties or anything for that rhythm and your input into the creation?
Well, I'm a member of the ASCAP Society of the composers of musicians, whatever they are, as a society. I joined ASCAP, and as performer, writer performer, I get check from them for writer performer. So the publishing sector, when I look in the section, I don't see any money for publishing. So Gussie may be collecting those, right? And of course Jammys would be collecting publishing too. So sometimes I go to Jammys. When I go to Gussie, he send me to Jammys and I get a small something from him sometime. But it's not something that you can buy house or land with, you understand? So it's like you get a little thing where you can take and buy some, just a little, maybe a little gas put in your vehicle or go to a supermarket. There's nothing like what if I want a house or a car, I have to work for buy that. True. And Sleng Teng should more than be able to give me that. But unfortunately, it don't drop into my hands, you understand? It's not my, I learned that would be something like it's a long courthouse battle that if you are to get anything out of that, you know, yeah, that is a serious matter. Yeah. But what I see now is like, you know, that's where it is. The benefits very minimal. You know, ASCAP will send your writers and what you call that, performances international. You might get a little smalls, not looking too bad. Some that nobody would give you. You understand? But the real deal of publishing, no. That would have to be sorted out. Still not sorted out. The real deal, no. I don't see the real money after that. You know, that's the truth. That's the truth. What I get is just some little thing here and there. Nothing to substantially set you or your family. Can't do it. As somebody who foundationally owned it. It come from me and go to Jammys and go to wherever it gone over the world. Greensleeve and all. The benefit is minimal. You know, that's the truth. Yeah.
I mean, it's very true what you said just a few minutes ago, in that, you know, Jammys was almost reluctant to put it out, and it was Wayne Smith that actually pushed him to release that, because a lot of people have, you know, said that, you know, this would never work and things, but, you know, 31 years on, and look how much it's had an impact on not just reggae music and dancehall music, but other kinds of music like hip hop and things as well.
Yeah. Well, that's true, because that's how it reached, you know. You don't believe in some things, and those are the things that sometimes comes out on top. So eventually, after it released, people believe they started to do a lot of computer stuff, because they realized that it has changed things. But before that, I could tell you, I get a lot of resistance. Even some producers I know locally, I was showing them, and them never interested in it. So it's after the first person put it on, it started to do that. Everybody bought drum machines, and you could see where for a while riddims was made by just computerized style, you know. And then after a while, like in the 90s, they start come back with the live thing. And even now, some people still go back to live, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not dead because they're still doing the computer stuff. They're still doing it. Because even my son himself, sometimes he feel the computer stuff more than the live stuff. It depends, you know.
On the vibes.
Yeah, right. So it's a thing. It has served this purpose, and at the same time, the roots music is still alive. Because when I come to Europe, I see young youths, them Chronics, Kabak, and those youths carrying them live band and doing them shows. So it's sure that the music is still alive, and at the same time, the computer has also done its job, because you have people who will still, like these hip hop guys, they still use drum machines and they sell big, you know. True. So I don't put a border and a jaw in a line on music. I think if you get up today and feel a computer rhythm, you should make it. And if you say, you know, this tune should be a live tune, follow your heart. Yeah. So that's where it starts for me. Yeah, I don't condemn anybody. Somebody can come up with a new idea tomorrow, and because you don't like it, you can say anything, but maybe it will create another history and create another big story in the music business. So when you hear something for first or something new, sometimes you have to kind of just give a little, let's give it a chance. I don't wanna go